Good morning everybody, it's Christian from Serene Education with the 4 Majors Analysis Update for the 17th of May 2011. It's going to be looking at the CTC strategy template for our 4 Majors, starting with the Euro against US dollar. Let's have a look at the daily time frame. Bit of a mixed day yesterday. Pair still trading to the downside. Notice that price has broken through the 1450 mark just recently, as well as the 142500. Just remember to put all these trend lines and support and resistance lines, and so it gives you an idea of where price is likely to go to. And you can see since topping out roughly around the 148500, we've seen price revert to the downside. It's trading below all the moving averages, bar the institutional moving average, the 200 period moving, and by doing so, we've broken the major trend. That was a major trend, and we've seen a definite pullback, quite a significant pullback in the last number of weeks. CTC, however, is still blue, so be aware of that. Long term, daily, because the CTC is a lagging indicator, you can see that the extension on this is still presumed as a positive. However, we have now gone red. We've now broken below a prior strong resistance level, there, and here, and because of that, we're now trading below. We're trading negative. So intraday wise, you should be looking for opportunities for further shorting. Targets would be the 1400. We're having a slight pullback. You can see prices pretty much slowed down significantly after this major break off from our highs. So factor that in. We could see momentum starting to slow down as we get to 1400, and what we could do is see the effects of the prior resistance and support around another strong area at 1400 coming into effect. So we could see a consolidation now taking place before we see a further extension to the downside. Just remember, these two areas here are swing lows, and they are lower than the prior one, so we can see that direction is very, very strong to the downside. Just put that in so you guys can see it, and you can see the price now is trading slightly higher compared to yesterday. Notice that this momentum here is slowing. It's not as direct as you saw before. So we saw breakdown, retest, breakdown. We're seeing a retest. So we could see if momentum continues, like we could look at the 142500 as a possible target intraday. If the momentum's to the upside, because we've been there in the past, you can see there's a definite support and resistance area at 142500. So intraday, let's have a look and see if we can see any opportunities to see if 142500 is likely to be a target. There's 142500. Not too far off. Prior support and resistance. This is on a long term. You can see even further back on the 18th. So as you can see, price moving down. However, the lows are stagnated. And if I draw a trend line over the tops, you can see that roughly around the 1425, 1420, we do have a possible ceiling level, and the 20 period moving average is acting as a great resistance level for this time frame. So factor that in. If this is definitely to be a true bullish up move, then obviously we want to see a swing high formed, and by doing so we want to see a break of 142500 to start with during the course of today. If that's the case, then we could see a definite move to the upside, and other areas roughly around the 14, what we've got to 33 mark possibly being tested, which is the 50 period moving average, and ultimately way back up to here where you can see just a 200 period moving average just making a small glimpse up here at 144500, which happens to be prior support and resistance. So first port of call would be 142500, got to break and close above this. A lot of resistance here. You can see the trend line as well as the ceiling level here. So have a look at your news to see if there's anything that might actually push price to the upside or push price to the downside. Will there be some favorable news out today that might give euro a bit of a push, or are we going to see the US dollar gain strength against euro today and you can see euro falling yet again? So look at those factors when looking at your trade. So at the moment now, there might be an opportunity. I think our CTC has given us a go signal on our smaller time frames. However, we've obviously got to see a break above this high here and then look at roughly the 1425, or in this case you could look at right up here at 1423.50 as your first target for this time frame. So that will be the prior high. Swing lows. CTC setting up. Notice on a hourly chart we have swing highs on this time frame. Swing high, swing high, swing high. So your entry level would be the high of this candle here. Enter. Just be aware, price support at the back. But that would be our first target if this momentum continues to the upside. Next pair up is sterling against US dollar. Let's have a look at the time frame here on the daily. Pair, as with the euro, has been falling steadily over the last couple of weeks, and we have lower swings to dictate a lower trend, and it's not trading below 2 small time frame moving averages. And yesterday we had a very indecisive candle, traded slightly higher to the upside during the course of the European and during the latter part of the US session we had price consolidated at the bottom end of the candle. But Asian market trading and the European session up this morning has seen price pull to the upside. So the indecision candle, we'd like to see a decision to confirm direction, and once we've had a confirmation signal, then we'll trade that confirmation. So you can either wait for the close of this candle here on a daily, or in this case you can see we definitely have a consolidation taking place. Well, this consolidation is roughly on prior resistance in the past. So where it's trading at the moment now at 16,200, we have a support area. So you can either look and say, well, as long as price is trading above this level, then we should be looking at ultimately at 16,300 as a possible target, or wait for a break and close lower than the 16,200 mark. Ultimately a low of yesterday's candle at 1616 would give us further indication of bearishness, and we could look at 1600 still being our long-term target to start with. So intraday, let's just factor that in, 16,200 on our 4 hour. Let's put it in on our hourly, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, and 5. Okay, so you'll notice that we're still negative. CTC is still negative. Swing lows in play. However, we have had a consolidation, and the Asian market has forged out a higher swing. But as you can see clearly, we are in a squeeze pattern. So have a look to see if there's any news out this morning that could fare or help drive the market up or down. And budget time now. So ultimately, you can see at 16,2400 there's definitely a previous support and resistance line. Ideally, you'd like to be above that, and then we'll be looking at opportunities to the upside. There is a slight pause around the 16,300 or 16,350 mark to start with. There's more pips in this than there is in this consolidation here. So budget time, wait for definite confirmation. A break above the 16,2400 mark on, say, the 30 period would definitely give us indication. There we go. You can, however, still trade this to the upside. CTC still hasn't given us a buy signal, even though we have blue candles, etc. on either side. So, and it is trading above a prior Asian high. So things are looking good. You can see the lower swings all facing to the upside. Great. Just be aware that we've got lower swings this side over here. Let's test them as we speak. So factor that in, and our first target would be 16,2400. Second target roughly around the 3200 mark, 3250 mark. So that's it for sterling against US dollar. Got to see price trading well above 16,2400 in my eyes to definitely see a confirmation buy signal. If not, we could see hesitation at 16,2400 and a continuation to the downside. So look for budget time, look for an entry above 16,2400 and shoot for 1632 or 62.3250 as your first target for the day on this pair. Next up is the US dollar against the Swiss franc. Here again, we had some students over the weekend that were teaching, and we were negative yesterday because we saw this prior hesitation and long-term support and resistance in this channel here, and fair enough, price was unable to break higher, and so we had a beautiful trade to the downside yesterday. A lot of our students made some money yesterday. Congrats to you guys, well done. There was a big bullish candle to the upside, however resistance came into play and news helped to the downside, and sure enough we had price revert to the downside and we have a bearish engulfing. This is now testing the 20 period moving average as we speak. We have a higher swing, and this one will be closing lower. We could see a break to the downside, now a failure at this level, so be aware that we could see an opportunity to the downside. Look for opportunities for Chief to give you a sell signal. So intraday, let's have a look and see if there's anything here. 4 hour, let's have a look at the 4 hour time frame. You can see higher swings pushing up to the upside, apologies, and then straight into a prior resistance level. Failed to trade higher, and the 900 was the other area we mentioned, and because it failed to trade higher, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 16 hours of trading sideways, and sure enough this morning, yesterday we had price revert to the downside, tested a previous resistance and support area around the 8820 mark, needs to close lower than that to confirm further downside movement. Failure to do so, we could see a hesitation and we could see a reattempt of the areas at 8920 again. Trading below the 200 period moving average, you can just see the 200 period moving average still there. So in terms of upside movement, still not looking bullish on this time frame, even though we had this extension. So be aware, we could see, if in the next 4 hours we see price falling down and we see a bearish engulfing, and then we see this as a lower swing and we got another trend direction. But we need to see a close lower than 88,220 to confirm further downside movement. Otherwise, what we're going to do is see consolidation around this area and the reattempt of the highs at 89,2050. Look at the 30-minute time frame. You can see price is now trying its hardest to break higher than the 50 period moving average, or in this case the 200. You can see the 200 is just there. Failure to break higher than that would obviously confirm that we're going to see further downside movement, and we could see a breakout pattern to the downside. You can see the Asian low on this time frame needs to trade lower than that. You can see a squeeze now, so break lower than that, 88.35 would definitely confirm further downside movement, and we should be looking at opportunities down to the 8800 mark to start with. CTC, red on the other side, but we don't have a red candle. Got to wait for that. We've got a blue one here, so hesitation. You can see we went to the upside and trading sideways in the Asian market. You can see slight highs, but smack bang into the 200 period moving average. Now we need to be trading lower than that to look for confirmation sell signal on a 30-minute chart. So anything lower than the Asian low, roughly around the 88.37 mark, I think it is, closed lower, would definitely confirm that we're looking at 8800 for possible targets for this pair. Last pair of the day is the US dollar against Japanese yen, and we've seen a lot of momentum over the Asian market session for this pair. I mentioned yesterday we needed to see price pull out a swing to the upside, and sure enough we've seen price confirm that. Nice juicy up candle. This on prior support, and you can see price now prior hesitation area. We've seen a nice big up candle confirming that we now have a swing. So this candle needs to close higher now, ideally above the 20 period moving average, but confirm upside movement. It's going to be looking at, it's quite tight at the moment now because it's trading roughly around a prior support area at around the 81.50 mark. So keep that in mind. Trading quite close to this hesitation area. So 81.50 is going to be a strong resistance area, and you can see on the 4 hour, the hourly. Let's see if I can get on a 30 minute. Can I get on a 30 minutes? Yes, just. All trading quite close to it, so be aware of it. See this massive Asian market high. You can see the buying opportunity flooding in, and 100% is it's just off the 81.50 mark, as I mentioned. So extension wise, we're almost 100% of that extension. So be aware we might see consolidation on this pair. 81.50 price needs to be trading above that during the course of today to see further extensions to the upside. Otherwise, we could see a consolidation taking place, and we could see price revert to the downside on this time frame. So guys, that's it for today. Hope you have a fantastic trading day. Keep it simple. Follow the rules of the CTC strategy. Look for breakout positions, consolidation areas where you could see possible breakouts to occur. Ensure that when you're trading that your risk reward is in check. And most importantly, trade serene.